Salt causes high blood pressure. That statement has been repeated so often that most people accept it as a universal truth. But it isn't. Some people are salt sensitive, and increasing sodium can raise their blood pressure. Others experience only a small change or no meaningful change at all. Salt is not a poison. Sodium and chloride are essential nutrients that the body needs to function. The real problem is the automatic assumption that everyone should restrict salt simply to be healthy. Sodium helps regulate fluid balance, nerve transmission, muscle contraction, and blood volume. Chloride contributes to fluid balance, digestion, and the production of stomach acid. Without enough sodium, the body cannot maintain normal circulation, nerve signaling, or cellular function. Salt is therefore not an optional ingredient. It is a nutritional requirement. The question is not whether salt is good or bad. The better question is, how much salt does this individual need, and what factors are affecting that need? People do not all respond to salt in the same way. Blood pressure regulation is influenced by kidney function, insulin resistance, potassium intake, stress hormones, inflammation, vascular health, body composition, medications, and genetics. When salt is blamed for every case of hypertension, these individual factors are overlooked. For someone who is genuinely salt sensitive, modifying sodium intake may be appropriate. But for someone who is not salt sensitive, aggressive restriction may provide little benefit while activating the body's sodium conservation systems. That is why nutritional recommendations should be based on physiology, not a universal rule. The kidneys continuously filter and regulate enormous quantities of sodium. When the body has more sodium than it needs, healthy kidneys can increase sodium excretion. When sodium availability falls, the body activates mechanisms designed to retain it. These include changes in renin, aldosterone, sympathetic activity, and insulin. This is an adaptive survival response. The body does not passively accept salt deprivation. It actively works to defend sodium balance. That does not mean everyone should consume unlimited salt. It means that restricting an essential nutrient can have effects beyond a small change in blood pressure. A low-salt diet is not metabolically neutral. Research has found that significant salt restriction can increase some of the hormones the body uses to conserve sodium. It may also increase heart rate and, in some studies, negatively affect insulin sensitivity and blood lipids. Other research has raised questions about possible effects on fertility, sexual function, and metabolic health. Some of these findings come from animal research and require further study in humans, but they are still biologically interesting. The point is not that everyone needs more salt. The point is that removing salt is a physiological intervention, and interventions can have both benefits and consequences. Salt can be especially useful when sodium losses or sodium requirements increase. Examples may include intense exercise, heavy sweating, working or training in hot weather, sauna use, low carbohydrate or ketogenic diets, which can increase sodium loss through the kidneys, fasting, and certain patterns of low blood pressure, dizziness, or orthostatic intolerance. In these situations, drinking more plain water without replacing electrolytes can sometimes make a person feel worse. Salt should be used intelligently and individually. People with significant kidney disease, heart failure, fluid retention disorders, or medication-related concerns should make changes with appropriate clinical guidance. The type of salt also matters. Refined table salt is processed until it consists almost entirely of sodium chloride. Most of its naturally occurring mineral diversity is removed, and anti-caking agents may be added. Traditional mineral salts retain small amounts of magnesium, potassium, calcium, and numerous trace elements. Critics sometimes dismiss these minerals because the quantities are small. But nutrition is cumulative. No single food has to provide every mineral the body needs. Mineral status reflects the combined contribution of food, water, salt, and other nutritional sources over time. When naturally complex foods are continually replaced by refined, mineral-depleted ingredients, the diet becomes less capable of replenishing the minerals used by the body every day. The body does not regulate sodium in isolation. Fluid balance, nerve signaling, muscle contraction, and cellular energy depend upon relationships among sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, water, kidney function, and hormones. Mineral salt is not intended to replace a mineral-rich diet. It provides sodium in a more biologically complete context than highly refined sodium chloride. That is consistent with a broader functional medicine principle. Whenever practical, choose foods that retain more of their natural complexity. For everyday use, my first choice is Redmond Real Salt. It comes from an ancient sea deposit in Utah. It is minimally processed, retains a broad natural mineral profile, and avoids many of the concerns associated with modern ocean pollution and microplastics. No natural salt is perfect, and source testing still matters. But Redmond offers the best overall combination of mineral content, availability, source consistency, and practicality. My second choice is Celtic sea salt from a reputable source. Celtic salt retains moisture and naturally occurring minerals, including somewhat more magnesium than many dry salts. Its main disadvantage is that modern sea salts can be exposed to microplastics and other environmental contaminants. My third choice is authentic Himalayan salt. It is still a mineral-containing alternative to refined salt, but sourcing and quality can vary considerably. The name Himalayan salt does not guarantee consistent mineral content, purity, or testing. So, my general order of preference is Redmond Real Salt first, reputable Celtic sea salt second, and carefully sourced Himalayan salt third. Refined iodized salt does offer one important nutrient: iodine. Most natural mineral salts contain little iodine unless they are specifically labeled as iodized. Iodine is essential for thyroid hormone production, and some people do not obtain enough through their regular diet. If mineral salt is your primary salt, make sure iodine is being supplied intentionally through foods such as seafood, sea vegetables, dairy, and eggs, or through appropriate supplementation when indicated. Choosing mineral salt should not mean ignoring iodine. There is also an important difference between adding mineral salt to real food and receiving large amounts of refined sodium through processed food. Processed foods often combine refined salt with low potassium content, refined carbohydrates, seed oils, additives, and excessive calories. When people improve their health by reducing salty processed foods, the benefit cannot automatically be attributed to sodium reduction alone. The complete food matters. Salting vegetables, meat, eggs, or a home-cooked meal is not metabolically equivalent to eating highly processed food. Salt is an essential nutrient, a seasoning, and in the right situation, a useful clinical tool. The goal is not unlimited salt, and it is not automatic salt restriction. The goal is to understand the individual. Pay attention to blood pressure, kidney function, diet, activity, sweating, medications, metabolic health, and symptoms. Choose a minimally processed mineral salt when practical, maintain adequate potassium, magnesium, and iodine, and build the rest of your diet around mineral-rich whole foods. Salt is not the enemy, oversimplified nutrition advice is. I'm Dr. Mark Scott with Total Health Center. To read the complete article, use the link in the description. If you would like help understanding how nutrition, metabolism, and mineral balance may be affecting your health, contact Total Health Center to schedule a free consultation.